Welcome to Synagogues of England, Part 14. This is our fourth and final segment checking out the various Jewish houses of worship in the greater Manchester area. Our first stop is no longer a shul. It was the former home to Shaarei Tzedek, which merged in 1997 with the Withington Congregation of Spanish and Portuguese Jews to become Shaarei Chaim, or the Sephardi Congregation of South Manchester. This building is in the West Didsbury area of Manchester. Our next stop is another building that one could hardly identify as a Jewish house of worship. It is Shaarei Shalom, or Gates of Peace, also known as the North Manchester Reformed Congregation. This building was constructed in 1980. Prior to that, the congregation met in the homes of members. It had been formed 3 years earlier in 1977. In 2013, it claimed to have 300 members, and itself experienced the breakaway of some of its members to start their own synagogue. That would be the Chaim V'Tikva Independent Congregation, which occurred in 1988. It has had a part-time rabbi, Norman Zalid, most recently at least through February of 2017. It holds services for Shabbat on Saturday mornings only. We note that its recent calendar of events indicates that they are using various rabbis to conduct the Saturday morning services. Here is the South Manchester Synagogue, also known as the Bowden Shul, or Bowden. This congregation has been around for at least 140 years, but the building shown here was constructed around 2002. Its prior location had been constructed in 1913. Its current rabbi is David Lewis, who grew up in the area, but is well-traveled after having spent some time studying in yeshiva in Israel, where he received a smicha in 1999. He also ran a Jewish day school in the Crimea. Here's an overhead shot of the United Synagogue. It's also known as the Mead Hill Shul because of its location. United Synagogue is a brand name. Just like in the United States, you have Agudas Yisrael and Young Israel. The congregation facility is within a local Eruv, and the congregation was established in 1904. Its current facility was constructed in the late 1960s. Its spiritual leader is Rabbi Yankee Pridges. Here is a close-up look at the building without obstruction from shrubbery, and a look from another side of the structure. This is the Whitefield Hebrew congregation. Its spiritual leader is Rabbi Jonathan Guttentag. The congregation was formed in 1959. The building shown here was erected in 1968. It claims to be one of the largest congregations outside of London. In 1999, it had more than 1,100 members. It's located in North Manchester. It's located in an Eruv and also has its own mikveh. Here's an overhead shot of Yeshivas Lubavitch, Manchester. Its dean is Rabbi Akiva Cohn. There is also a shul on the premises that is called Kahal Hasidim. Our final stop takes us to Yeshurun Hebrew Congregation. About the only information we have on this congregation is that it has been around for at least 50 years. Here is a look at its front entrance with the verse, Pischali Shaarei Tzedek Avovomadei Ka. Roughly translated, open for me, gates of righteous, as I will enter grateful to God. Here is a quick look at the sanctuary inside. This concludes our checking out the Jewish houses of worship in Greater Manchester. We next check out the City of London. See you soon.